This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
With Braddon in the balance and the Treasurer at risk of contempt, the stage is set for a fiery return to State Parliament this week. But the accusations have started early. Rebecca White claims Peter Gutwein has lost all credibility, while the Liberals say Ms White only cares about the state south.
It's the heavily guarded document only creating more and more speculation. What advice did the Treasurer receive over the Tamar Valley Power Station before the state plunged into last year's energy crisis?
For him now to potentially be in contempt of Parliament does raise questions about how he can be taken with any credibility.
It's a distraction the government doesn't need. With forestry, super trawlers and defensive wicked vans up for debate, Michael Ferguson says there are bigger fish to fry.
This has been absolutely done to death. The fact that Labor still want to talk about a sheet of paper.
But is that sheet of paper something Tasmanians should see? The government maintains it's cabinet in confidence and therefore no. Rebecca White is feeling the heat too, over perceptions she's Hobart-centric.
Hasn't shown a single scrap of interest in any part outside southern Tasmania.
Ahead of the Braddon recount in the northwest, which begins tomorrow.
I'm very excited that Shane Broad has nominated for the recount. It looks very promising at this stage and I'm really hopeful that he'll be joining us in the Parliament.
The fact that Rebecca White has still not even contacted Brenton Best just is another demonstration of the inexperience and the chaos.
But there's apparently no question over Leonie Hiscott's experience as she takes the reins of the upper house in her first full term in politics.
And of course there'll be some settling in time, but we will be all there to support her.
Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
Generations of motor vehicles have been polished to perfection for the Launceston Motor Show. From lightning-fast V12 Ferraris to this classic Hillman Gazelle, complete with its own mascot. The oldest vehicle was this 1916 Ford Model T. With a top speed of 50, the car has been handed down over 3 generations.
Yeah, the engine and the gearbox was finished up on our granddad's saw bench. And my brother John got most of the parts probably 50 years ago. And we bought it off him probably 15 years ago and fully restored it.
But these guys spend all day Saturday getting their vehicles smart and they love to bring them out and show them off.
Brands which are no longer manufactured were also on display. Organisers hope the show will return next year. Tasmanians have gathered in Hobart in recognition of World Autism Awareness Day, the inaugural Prism 17 event celebrating the artistic talents of people on the autism spectrum.
We've had people singing, beautiful singing, we've got music, we've got people talking about their artistic endeavours, we've got people talking about their advocacy. So there's a great array of talent.
The art exhibition will continue for the next 3 weeks. Hundreds of Tasmanians living with Parkinson's disease have joined together to raise awareness of the condition by taking part in this year's Fred's Walk for Parkinson's. The event saw dozens stride along the Montrose Bay foreshore in Hobart, raising $3,000 for medical research.
Over 2,500 Tasmanians are living with Parkinson's, and yet it is still unknown what causes the disease or how to cure it.
To raise awareness is terribly important, and to raise funds is even more important. The more funds we raise, the more research that we can contribute to.
Kim Pitt was diagnosed with Parkinson's 2.5 years ago and says it's been debilitating.
I started suffering physical and mental pain. I had anxiety attacks, depression, stinging joints, things hidden from people that weren't aware of what was going on within me.
The impact on his family has been just as hard.
We monitor Kim now at the moment as to what he's doing. We keep a close eye on him, help him out where he needs help. I've reduced my hours of work so I can be around him a little bit more.
Today, Parkinson's sufferers and their families pounding the Montrose Bay foreshore for the Walk the Bay event. Many passionate about raising awareness, others just overwhelmed by the community support.
You have hope, but hope sometimes seems a long way away when there's no sign of any research coming in the right direction. To see people come out and support us, to raise money and to take an interest is fantastic. It really makes a difference.
Alexandra Sykes, Southern Cross News.
Round 1 of the TSL has been run and won, with last year's grand finalists occupying the top 2 spots on the ladder. It was a dirty day for Devonport yesterday, who went down to Launceston and whose coach was sent to hospital. Mitch Thorpe's afternoon took a turn after being on the receiving end of this bone-crunching hit, the playing coach immediately calling for trainers, making his way directly from the field in obvious discomfort. But shortly after, he'd courageously return. Still well and truly feeling the effects, he managed to mark a goal and keep his Pies in the game. His heroics would be in vain though, as Devonport went down to Launceston, Thorpe taken to hospital with a rib injury.
He's in good spirits, but he'll head off to the hospital and have the scans and hopefully we get a positive result.
Launceston led at every change in the season opener at Devonport Oval, Sonny Whiting magnificent as he booted 3 goals. The Blues midfielders hitting the scoreboard too, Jay Blackberry bagging 2 majors. Things got heated at one stage between the two sides, but it was a winning return to footy for playing coach Sam Lonergan, who got through unscathed.
I think I've got a little bit of a finger that's probably just a knock and it'll be right by Monday, Tuesday. But from a soft tissue point of view, from groins, glutes, all that type of stuff, I feel really good and really confident. So.
The young Devonport side undeterred despite the loss, happy with the first up performance of a new look and youthful team.
Look, it's round 1. They'll learn from it. Key messages, I guess, is concentration. And they know that, just those small lapses.
Yesterday afternoon's clash wrapped up round 1 of the TSL. Glenorchy and North Launceston occupy the top 2 spots following big wins. Clarence had the bye and will square off with Tigers this Sunday. A high adrenaline night at Carrick Speedway has seen the nation's #1 retain his title in front of thousands of fans. But he has competition from the next generation, with a Tasmanian teenager proving why he's the sport's next big thing.
The all-action night at the Speedway went off with a bang.
Side-by-side action, out to the wall, oh, over it goes!
Twisted Metal lands sprayed clay, a big night in for 2,000 fans. It was the final round of the Speedway season, and it delivered a wild ride.
The race has been sensational tonight. It's the last meeting of the year, so it's been really good. Everyone's having a crack for their last show.
16-year-old Jock Goodger is just getting started. After cutting his teeth on the go-karts, Goodger has instantly made his mark in Formula 500, taking out titles against competitors twice his age.
Go fast, just don't back out.
And last night, he made it one more. A natural knack for picking the gaps, Goodger beautifully times this pass on the inside. Hanging on the tail of Dylan Beveridge, he goes close on the 9th lap before stealing top spot soon after. From there, no contest, Goodger wins with a 3-second gap. He's now off to the Nationals in SA. His dream is to get into sprint cars.
Oh, it'd be pretty cool if I can get up there at the front with the big guys and the big cars.
At the top of the tree is Wynyard's Callum Harper, the nation's #1 driving this super sedan.
We built that one at home ourselves, just me and a couple of guys. Oh, no different. Like 3rd generation, what else am I meant to do?
What he does do, he does well.
Powering out of the turn 4, looking super strong out in front.
Keeping a consistent 4-second gap from his closest rivals throughout the final. A cracking contest between Adam Beachy and David Nichols for second, but Harper simply too good.
Checkered flag time, and the win goes to Callum Harper.
In the sprint cars, a 7-strong field delivered from the green light. Mark House edging out Robin Dawkins with 5 laps to go.
Side by side, House goes through, takes over second place. Can he hang on to it?
He hangs on and takes first from Jason Redpath on the second last lap.
House gets it done.
Holding out for the checkered flag.
Mozzie House takes a win.
Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
The Hobart Chargers' hot start to the Seabull season has continued, an NBL recruit helping them to an easy win over Frankston in Hobart last night. He's only on board for 2 more games, but the Chargers will want to hang on to Tom Garlep. The Sydney King instrumental in last night's big win over Frankston, dominating inside to score 29 points, hit 3 from 3 3-pointers and add 7 rebounds. Whitehead and Muo had 16 and 19 points respectively, Hobart smashing Frankston to the tune of 29 points. Nathan Bass the best for the visitors with 21 points on 10 for 19 shooting. The Chargers now sit atop the Seabull Central Southern Conference table with an average winning margin of 43. Earlier, the women's team weren't quite able to gel. New import Alex Ciabattoni had 18 points and 13 boards to complement Kathleen Shear's 22 and 12, while Kylie McCauley had 23 and 4. But Frankston had the answers, sneaking home with a 4-point win. Skipper Tanea Phillips dropping 22 points for the visitors. The Chargers 1-1 on the season. Soccer and Northern Rangers hold Launceston bragging rights following a 2-1 win in yesterday's Northern Derby. In a spirited affair, it was Mitchell Jones opening the scoring with this neat finish before Patlinau Atkinson doubled the advantage. Rangers more than happy with the goal, taking celebrations to the fans. City put home a late consolation goal, but time was the enemy. Rangers getting the points in the end. Last night, Clarence fought hard to score a goal against South Hobart, but it was Ken Morton's men too strong, running out 3-1 winners at Wentworth. While Olympia stunned Devonport at Valley Road yesterday, holding the Strikers goalless and bagging a treble of their own in a 3-0 victory. And in hockey, tensions flared between Canterbury and Diamondbacks. Canterbury's Ed Lawler sent from the field for this altercation. Diamondbacks far too good, winning 3-0. University showed their contenders in 2017, scoring a 2-2 draw with reigning Premier OHA, while Derwent overpowered Northwest Grads, and Angus Bolton Brace handing his side the points. In the women's, Diamondbacks and Northwest Grads were victorious. Uni and OHA split the points. A Tasmanian under-19 invitational cricket side is taking on Sri Lanka's under-19s in a 3-day game at Queenborough Oval. The match is a tune-up for the Sri Lankan side, who will play a 6-game series against the Australian under-19s in Hobart from next week. Tasmania solid on day one, up-and-comer Mac Wright notching an unbeaten century.
Good evening. 16 the top in Hobart today, Launceston 19, Burnie 17, 18 in Devonport there. Elsewhere, Low Head and Flinders Island reached 17, Bushy Park and King Island 16, Strahan 15, 14 at Grove, Lyowini 1 overnight up to a top of 9 degrees today. Extensive patchy low-level cloud over southern waters and coastal fringes on the satellite there, also extending into eastern parts of the mainland. Low-level cloud about the west, central and southern areas today. Tomorrow, the high and the bite will have moved over Tasmania. A trough will develop over eastern parts of the mainland. Coastal waters and variable winds at 5 to 15 knots, tending east to northeasterly, generally in the evening, with swells to 3 metres. And a frost warning is current for most parts of the state tomorrow. The forecast now, a sunny day in Hobart 17, Dover 16, Ooze 17 also. Sunny skies in the north, Launceston 19, 18 in Devonport and Scottsdale. A partly cloudy day in Burnie 18, Strahan looking at 17, 18 also on the way at Stanley. St Helens a fine 18, Swansea 17, Ross some morning frost, then a sunny 16 degrees. To the 3-day forecast, and Tuesday another fine day with some inland frost. Wednesday a possible shower in the north and west, but otherwise fine. And Thursday fine apart from showers about the southwest and also in the far south there. A possible shower for Darwin tomorrow 32, a sunny day in Perth looking at 31, showers in Sydney 21, Canberra 19 with a possible shower, but a fine day on the way for the remaining capitals.
Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great week. Good night.